Welcome to the new chapter, Areas Related to Circles. At first we can see what the perimeter and area of some plane figures such as a rectangle, square, etc. Do you know from where the word perimeter comes? Perimeter is derived from the Greek words peri meaning around and meter which means metron or measure. Thus, perimeter means measure around a figure, measure around a closed surface. Now, look at the figure. In the figure, the perimeter of the rectangle is 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5, which is equal to 16 units. But the perimeter of the triangle is 7 plus 13 plus 5, which is 25 units. Thus, but area is the space occupied by a flat shape or the surface of an object. Actually, it is the amount of the space contained within the boundary. Many objects that we come across in our daily life are related to the circular shapes in some form or the other. Example, wheels, wheelbarrow, bangles, circular paths, circular flower beds, etc. So, the problem of finding perimeters and area related to circular figures is of great practical importance. In this chapter, we shall begin our discussion with a review of the concept of the perimeter of a circle, which is also called the circumference of a circle. The perimeter or the circumference of a circle is the length of the boundary along the circle is called the circumference of the circle. You can see the relation of pi with the circumference of the circle. You studied in the lower class what is the formula for to find the circumference of a circle. You know that if a circle is having a radius r, consider a circle having a radius r. If a circle is having a radius r, then its circumference will be 2 pi r. Now, I will show you what the relation of the circumference with the pi. Now, I am going to arrange this. Circumference can be written as c. So, c equals 2 pi r. I am going to arrange it again in this way. Pi at first into 2r in separate bracket. But you know that double of the radius is called as the diameter. So, I am going to write this 2r as the diameter of the circle because you are known that if this is radius, this also will be the radius of the circle. 2 times radius will be the diameter of the circle. Your left side is the circumference. Now, I am going to arrange pi equals c on the left side. C is the circumference which is on the left side. Multiplication with the diameter goes to the left side becomes division by the diameter. So, equal to c by diameter. Now, I am going to write it as pi is equal to circumference of the circle divided by the diameter of the circle. Circumference of the circle divided by the diameter. A very important formula. You know that pi is a rational number. It has millions and millions of decimal places. But for practical calculation, you can take the value of pi as approximately equal to either as 3.14 or as approximately equal to 22 by 7. 22 by 7 is a rational number. You know that pi is an irrational number. So, approximate value only you can take for practical calculations. So, this is the relation of pi with the circumference of a circle. Now, I will show you what the circumference of a semicircle. It is very important. Many of you may think that if 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle, if the circumference of a circle equals 2 pi r, many of you may think that half of this circumference will be equal to the circumference of the semicircle. But actually it is wrong. Now, listen to this circle. Listen here. The whole circumference for a circle having a radius r, that you can take as 2 pi r. But half of this circumference, that is this much only if I consider. Half of a circle is called as a semicircle. So if I consider this much only, the half of the circumference will be equal to half of this 2 pi r. Am I right? Half of the 2 pi r. That is not for you. But suppose an ant is moving along the boundary of the semicircle. Let A be the starting point. The ant moves along the boundary in this way. And suppose that it reaches the point B. And after that, for to come back to A, it needs to move along this line. Am I right? So actually, this is a part of the semicircle when considering the circumference or the boundary. So plus BA you need to consider. That is the total length equal to half 2 get cancelled. So the remaining is pi r plus. What is BA? BA is actually the diameter of the circle, or you can say the diameter can be written as 2 times r. So circumference of a semicircle having a radius r equal to pi r plus 2r. Very important. So many may think that a circumference of a semicircle is half the circumference of a circle. So depending on the question you need to answer, suppose that you are given with a loaf of bread or a piece of cake in this shape. For to find the circumference you need to take the boundary along with this line segment AB. In the same way we can think what about the circumference of a quadrant. A quadrant means 1/4 of a circle is called as a quadrant. Suppose that I am going to consider a quadrant ABO. I want to find the circumference of this quadrant. Circumference of the quadrant means that you need to move along this much, the curved part AB. Now, the length BO plus the length OA you need to consider. This much is the circumference of a quadrant. Now, I am going to write what the circumference of a circle at first. Circumference of a circle equal to 2 pi r. But circumference of a quadrant equal to, for to find the quadrant of a circle, the circumference equal to 1/4 of that 2 pi r. Am I right? 1/4 of the 2 pi r will come at this point AB plus, what about the length BO plus the length OA also you need to consider for to get the circumference of the quadrant. Now, this 2 cancel with this 4 you get a 2. The remaining is pi r by 2 plus, what is BO? BO is the radius r plus OA is also the radius r. So we can say that the circumference of the quadrant equal to, circumference of a quadrant equal to pi r by 2 plus 2r. Based on the question you need to answer. Suppose you need to consider the curved part along, you need to take pi r by 2 alone. If you are given with a figure like this, if you want to consider BO and OA, you need to add up that. Anyway, you are not. Circumference means the boundary of a closed path. That is not for you. So remember this formula. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. The relation of pi and circumference is pi equal to circumference by diameter, a very important formula. And circumference of a semicircle equal to pi r by pi r plus 2r, and circumference of a quadrant equal to pi r by 2 plus 2r. So come to this question. The radii of two circles are 13 centimeter and 6 centimeter respectively. Find the radius of the circle which has circumference equal to the sum of the circumferences of the two circles. This is the question given for you. The radii of two circles are 13 and 6 centimeter. I am going to take the radius of the first circle as 13 and the radius of the second circle as 6. Let us mark the radius of the first circle as R1 and the radius of the second circle as R2. And the same way, let C1 be the circumference of the first circle and C2 be the circumference of the second circle. Why? The question is based on the circumference. What is the question? The radii of two circles are 13 and 6. Find the radius of the circle. I need to find the radius of another circle which has circumference equal to the circumference of this circle equal to the sum of the circumferences of the two given circles. So actually this is the condition given for you. The circumference, find the radius of a circle which has circumference equal to sum of the circumferences of the two circles. Okay, so based on the question, suppose that if you are given with the value of pi as 22/7, you know, to substitute the value of pi as 22/7 in this question. But look at the way I am going to do the calculation. Let R1 equal to 13 centimeter and the radius of the second circle R2 equals 6 centimeter. Let R be the radius of the required circle. Let R be the radius of the required circle. What you need to find, or what is given for you? Given the circumference of the required circle equal to the sum of the circumferences of the two circles. But you know that the formula for to find the circumference is 2 pi r, where r is the radius of the circle, c equals 2 pi r1, the radius of the first circle, plus 2 pi r2, the radius of the second circle. Look at the calculation I am going to do, very important, which implies 2 pi r I need to find, which is equal to, on the right side I am going to take a 2 pi common outside. Even though you are given with the value of pi as 22/7, look at what happens. R1 plus R2 comes within the bracket. Okay, many students may think that, okay, I need to substitute the value of pi as 22/7 here and 22/7 here, on the left side also 22/7 here. So the calculation seems to be very important in the chapter areas related to circles. Why? Because you may be given with any value, 22/7 or 3.14, but wisely you need to do the calculation, which implies 2 pi you can cancel on both sides. So I need to substitute the value of pi here. R equals R1 plus R2 is the final result obtained for you. Okay, now I am going to substitute the values. So R equals, what is R1 in the question? 13, plus what is R2? 6. Summing up I get R equals 19. Therefore radius of the required circle equals radius of the required circle equals 19 centimeter. 19 centimeter. Very important how you do the calculation, that seems to be very important. Even though the value of pi is 22/7 here, you are need to substitute the value here if we wisely do the calculation this way. Okay, based on this, after doing this question, you do the homework question which I am going to give here. Now we can discuss about the area of a circle. You know that area is the space occupied within a circle. If a circle is having a radius r, let r be the radius of the circle. If a circle is having a radius r, then its area equals pi r square that you studied in earlier classes. But in the case of area of a semicircle, this much shaded area only will come for the circle having radius r. So area of the semicircle actually equal to half of the area of the circle itself. So half of pi r square that you need to consider. So that is a simple formula, half of the area of the circle, that is area of the semicircle. But in the case of the area of a quadrant, 1/4 of the area of the circle comes under area of a quadrant. So 1/4 of the area of the circle pi r square you need to consider. So area of the quadrant equal to 1/4 pi r square, and you know that the unit of area is square unit, that is either square centimeter or square meter or square kilometer based on the question given to you. Now come with another problem based on the area of the circle. Look at the question. The radii of two circles are 5 cm and 12 cm respectively. Find the radius of the circle having area equal to the sum of the areas of the two circles. Okay, once again, The radii of two circles are 5 cm and 12 cm. I am going to consider the first circle as C1 and the second circle as C2. The radius of the two circles are given as 5 cm and the other one as 12 cm. So, let R1 be the radius of the first circle and R2 I am going to consider as the radius of the second circle. Find the radius of the circle. I need to find the radius of another circle. Let the circle can be taken as C. But the condition is that find the radius of this circle having area equal to, that is, area of this circle equal to sum of the areas of the two circles, that is circle 1 and circle 2. So, area of this circle is the condition given for you. Find the radius of the circle having area equal to, the area of this circle will be equal to sum of the areas of the two circles given for you. Okay, just like the same circumference type question, we can do this. Let I am going to take the radius of the first circle as R1 and the radius of the second circle as R2. Let R1 can be taken as 5 cm and R2 can be taken as 12 cm. Let R be the radius of the required circle. Let R be the radius of the required circle. Required circle. What is given for you? Given area of the circle C, that is the larger circle C, equal to area of the first circle C1, am I right, plus area of the second circle C2. For to identify, I mark the C1, C2 and C outside the area formula. Now, I am going to write or apply the formula here. What is area of the circle C? Circle C is having a radius R, so its area is pi r square equal to. What is the area of circle C1? Pi, the radius is R1 square plus area of second circle is pi, the radius of the second circle is R2 square. Now, suppose that you are given, you plan to substitute the value of pi as 22 by 7. Even though it is not mentioned in the question, you can substitute the value as 22 by 7 or as 3.14 if nothing is mentioned in the question. Okay. But listen to the way I am going to do the calculation as per the circumference question. Pi r square, which is on the left side. On the right side, from these two terms, I am going to take a pi common outside. So in the first term, there remains an r1 square only, plus the second term there remains an r2 square. If in doubt, check inwards pi r1 square plus pi r2 square. Okay. Now, I am going to substitute the values here, which is equal to, or which implies pi r square that you need to find equal to pi into pi outside the bracket. What is r1 square? R1 square is 5 square plus the r2 square is 12 square. Either in this step or in the next step, you can cancel the pi. I am going to cancel pi here. Pi cancelling we get, which implies r square equals 5 square is 25 plus 12 square is 144, which implies r square equals, you know that 25 plus 144 is 169, which implies r equals square root of 169. Now need to take the negative value, radius never becomes negative, so you get 13. Therefore, radius of the required circle equal to radius of the required circle equals 13 centimeter. The radius of the required circle equals 13 centimeter. Very easy question, just like the circumference question you need to do. Remember, in this case also, instead of substituting the value of pi as 22 by 7, when taking common, it get cancelled. From the LHS and RHS, if maximum common if you take outside, that term get cancelled. The remaining will be a perfect square. So the answer is r equal to root of 169, which is 13. Therefore, the radius of the required circle equal to 13 centimeter. Based on this, you can do one more homework question that I will given here. We have already studied about concentric circles in the chapter circles. Circles having same center and varying radii are called as concentric circles. Look at the figure. I am going to consider a concentric circle here. A pair of concentric circles. Circle having same center. Let the center can be taken as O. And varying radius. Let the inner radius, the small radius, I am going to take it as small r. And the outer circle radius or the larger radius, I am going to take it as capital R. But what will happen when two concentric circles come? A ring will be formed in between. Am I right? Yes. Look at the shaded area. This is actually the area of a ring. Now, our problem is how to find the area of a ring like this. Okay, we can check how to find the area of a ring. Consider two circles having outer radius capital R and inner radius smaller r. Then area of the ring equals area of the full outer circle, means the complete area within the circle, that I am going to consider at first. Area of the outer circle I am going to consider at first. Area of the outer circle. From the full outer circle area means the space occupied within that circle, minus, if I subtract the area of the inner circle. What will be the area of the inner circle? I am going to mark the inner circle area here. If I am going to subtract the inner circle area, this much area if I subtract, what will get? You will get the area of this ring. So, area of the ring always will be area of the outer circle minus area of the inner circle. Minus area of the inner circle. Area of the inner circle. Okay, equal to, what is the area of the outer circle? Anyway, the area of a circle is pi r square. Outer circle is having a radius capital R, so I am going to take it as pi capital R square, minus area of the inner circle. Inner circle is having a radius small r, so area of the inner circle will be pi small r square. If you take pi common outside, what remains there? Capital R square minus small r square. Actually, this is the formula for to find the area of a ring. Pi capital R square minus small r square, where capital R is the radius of the outer circle and small r is the radius of the inner circle. If you want, you can simplify it further, pi into. What about a square minus b square? A square minus b square equals a plus b in one bracket into a minus b in the other bracket. In the same way, capital R square minus small r square can be written as capital R plus small r in one bracket into capital R minus small r in the other bracket. This also you can use for to get a simplified result.